Okay, we're going to be talking about TC's Konnekt Live Firewire audio interface. Now, as you can see, this is incredibly well built, and this is probably going to be ultimately aimed at perhaps DJs who are performing now with software solutions and they need a really rugged, reliable audio interface for clubbing, or perhaps for the on-the-road gigging musician who's using virtual instruments live with a laptop and a controller keyboard, and again needs an audio interface they can really rely on that's going to meet the rigours of the road. Now, you've probably noticed this rubber skin on this unit. Now, this allows you to put it down on any surface and feel fully confident that the unit's not going to slip off in the live situation. Now, another really cool feature is we've got this curved front so that all the knobs and buttons are recessed, so even if we put it down on the desk like this, nothing gets damaged or hurt. Now, let's talk about the inputs and outputs of the Konnekt Live. On the front panel on the left here, we've got the two high quality TC Impact mic pre's. On the right hand end here, we've got two headphone outputs, one of them which is mutable. And on the back panel, we've got Midi I. Now, this is probably really useful in the live situations for interfacing perhaps a synthesizer or a drum machine or other gear that you're using for your performance. We've got an SPDIF digital in and out. We've got 4-line outputs. Now, this is very useful for DJs because they can use two different pairs into a DJ deck and be able to cue between them. We've got 4-line inputs, two of which are high Z inputs, so we can plug in directly bass guitar and guitar into the unit, and if we really want, both simultaneously. And on the far end of the unit, we've got ADAT in and out, so it allows us digital connection perhaps to a digital mixer and to pass 8 channels backwards and forwards that way. Now, following on from the facilities we've already talked about for DJs, there's actually a supplied cable with a circuit built into the cable which allows you to plug a record deck directly into the unit without an extra preamp, so you may want to incorporate that as part of your live performance. We've got front panel control of all internal mixer parameters, and we've actually got a true analog volume knob, which is the perfect solution for a set of powered monitors. There's extensive output routing options and even a switch to switch the main outputs from unbalanced to balanced. Now, we've got Onboard Dsp on the Konnekt Live, which allows us to do a number of different things. We've got onboard multiband compression and EQ and reverb in the form of the Fabric C and the Fabric R, which allows us perhaps to monitor with reverb or monitor even with compression and EQ. But on the Konnekt Live, we can actually strap the multiband compression directly across the master out, so it's almost like having a finalizer on your finished mix. So for a DJ or live performer who's got a whole lot of things coming out of the unit, perhaps drums and bass and sequences, you can get a really punchy, polished mix sound. Other great plugins included are the Assimilator and Resonant filter. Now, the Resonant filter gives us low pass and high pass filter modes with included saturation and drive, so you can get that really pumping, crunchy sound. One of the great features of this unit is the ability to assign this encoder to MIDI controllers. So for instance, we could actually set it to control the Resonant filter plugin we've already talked about. At the heart of the Konnekt Live is TC Applied Technologies' DICE Firewire audio chip, which gives you amazing Firewire performance as well as other innovations such as the Jet PLL low jitter word clock. The DSP can actually also be used to actually store setups, so you might have a different setup for your studio and a different setup for when you DJ, or perhaps even a different setup for when you're going out playing as a gigging musician. We can actually store them and recall them from the front panel, as well as import and export them to and from our computer. You can control the DSP, reverb, compression and EQ from within TC's TC Near software monitoring solution, or you can actually open those plugins as AU or VST within your host of choice.